this is just game. Well, you see, nephew.
Yeah. All right. Give it up, Miss Lala Marie right here. Now, Lala has an interesting book called From the Heart. And from my understanding, it's very poetic. Is that right?
Yes, it is. Very poetic.
But it has everyday type of things in it involved, like what things that people go through. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, relationships, from losing a loved one, breakups, good, bad, ugly, depending on my mood that day. I write about it all.
Now let's give the people some background. You were adopted at a very young age, like at a toddler's age.
I was 7 months old.
7 months old,
Yes.
adopted. When did you find out that you were adopted?
Preteen, 12, almost 13.
What did that do to you? Did it rock your world?
Yeah, that's a critical time. You about to be a teenager. Things change. A lot in your life is going on. Puberty, the whole nine. So to find that out that your parents that raised you are not your biological parents, it changes you. It definitely has an emotional impact on you.
So how long did it take for you to reconcile that?
Actually, right off, because I was blessed with great parents. So,
well, not that night, not right off.
well, no, not that night, but
like,
not as long
you're
as
not my
most
mom?
people
Okay,
think.
Still cool, one love, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, she just thumbed out like that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You were adopted into a traditional home with a mother and a father.
Yes.
They both worked. Father was a military veteran.
Yes.
And what did your mom do?
My mom was a seamstress. She also worked for a catering company. She did it all.
Now, to your knowledge, did either one of those great people that raised you have any of the talent that you were blessed with?
Not to my knowledge, no.
No. So where do you think your talent came from? I know you coming up, you like to rap and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Where did you hone your thirst and desire for your talent?
I needed a release for it. Poetry is therapeutic for me. It's a stress reliever, just like music is for most people. It's just poetry and music happens to be both for me.
So what was some of what was your mindset like? You got exposed as a preteen that these great people that raised you were not your biologicals. So, and then you said it didn't take you long to reconcile that, but you did have to cope with it. Was that some of your fuel for your early writing?
Yes, it was, because actually in elementary school, I attempted to start a biography. I've always had a thing for writing, so that was my outlet to write. So rather than hold it in, write about it. Yeah, and I probably got like 5-6 pages in, and I stopped. I just didn't know where to go from there. So
Right. So now, okay, what kind of feedback were you getting from your parents?
they were supportive, worried, of course, how I would react. Of course, they didn't want me to rebel, finding out something like that huge at that age.
So they had to be really interested in what you were writing and had to say.
Yes.
Did you have to hide your journals, because you wanted to remain private?
No, actually, because the biography I attempted to do, I wrote it as a school project, so they got to see it. It was graded and everything.
So did they read good stuff about themselves in it?
Well, yeah, because it was still the beginning. I hadn't got to where it was like, yeah.
Woo, yeah, I mean, we feeding this girl pancakes. I hope you about the book, From the Heart. So now, I take it that it's a culmination of stories and events and everything dating back from years and everything like that.
Yes, it goes way back to my early adulthood years is when I really got serious about my writing. Of course, it was even more emotional because as an adult, your situations change. They become more intense. So with that, it gives your writing more detail. Of course, more emotion. So as that went on, from there, as I got older and started, working, dealing with different people, going through different stuff, depending on whether it made me feel good, whether it upset me, I wrote about it.
And you had a child and everything, right?
Yes, I actually have 4 children. So at that time, which that gave me something else to write about. Thank you.
Where they do that at? Now, what about your paternal, experiences? Were some of those things involved in your writing?
No.
Not at all. I'm willing to bet maybe in future writings, maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. No, why not?
Well, to be honest, I never really gave it too much thought because I deal so much within the current, what I got going on in that moment. So that's mostly what I write about.
Right. Now, you said it was therapeutic for you. Have you got any feedback from people who might have read some of the stuff in the book or read the book and said, hey, Lala, I really appreciate this work. It really helped me. It really brought me through, or I can relate to some of the things you were saying in there. Have you heard that thus far?
Yes, definitely when it comes to when I write poems about relationships, when I wrote about losing my mom, a lot of people can relate to that. I'm pretty sure almost everyone has lost someone very close to them that meant everything to them. So that's hard to deal with. And a lot of people, you either hold it in or you let it out. But how you let it out, it varies because everybody grieves different. So
Right. Right. Now, how important is it for someone to find an outlet to express themselves and let go things that's inside them that can, hamper their growth?
it's very important because if you hold it in, it consumes you. It can start to rot, eat you from the inside.
Did your writing shelter you from a lot of negative energy?
Not a lot, not as much as I would like to have. But it has sheltered me from, some negative energy. It's like a detour.
Right.
It's like, you know what? I'm not even going to go there. Let me go over here. Right, all right, I feel better. Let me come back to it and deal with it a whole different way.
Now, it is poetic. And usually, I know a lot of poets, right? And usually, 9 times out of 10, their work end up being erotic. Have you ever thought along those lines with your work? Why are you laughing? It's real.
Well, actually, the first poem, In From the Heart, is kind of erotic.
It's the first poem.
Yeah, the first poem.
See, I'm lying. Now, what do you hope to accomplish with your writing?
I want to spark the next person that's either going through something, holding it in, let it out, whether it's through writing, no matter what it is. I also want to, if you're thinking about writing a book, don't marinate on it. Just do it, because that was something I went through.
What, marinating on the book?
Yeah,
Stopping
just
and starting?
just stopping to start, or just second guessing themselves. Some
So
people
what-
don't feel they got what it takes to write a book.
What gave you the goal to keep going forward? Like, what clicked in your head? Say, you know what? I got some good stuff here. I'm gonna keep going with it.
My supporters.
Now, where can they find your book at on the web if they want to go buy it and download it and things of that nature?
The book is on Amazon. It's also on Barnes & Noble.
Tell
And
them
they can
what it's
also get
called.
it through me. It's titled From the Heart. It's available on paperback and Kindle edition.
The real Corey Kane, better known as Young Neo 100, endured a lot of pain, and I made a little money. I hustled us with change.